Episode 12. One day, Sai was having his lunch. At that time, a dog came and sipped the buttermilk from the can which was near Baba. Immediately, Baba, who was there, told the boy to throw the buttermilk. Sai asked the fakir what was he telling the boy, and when he told about throwing the buttermilk, Baba told him, "The buttermilk is nice. Don't throw it. You take it home and in the evening make kadhi, a dish with buttermilk, and bring it. We all can have it." As instructed, and made kadhi, and all of them had it. One of Sai's devotees had too much of debt. A money lender filed a case against him and got a legal document. The devotee didn't have money with him, and in spite of him pleading to give him some time, the money lender was not ready to live. Suddenly, all the devotees thought of doing a Nam Satta, which is chanting of Baba's name in front of Baba's photo. The devotee was very happy to do this. The money lender took this opportunity and got a warrant to take the things in the devotee's house. The devotee said, "Good, you can take all the things in my house so that we will have more vacant space, and I feel whatever is happening as per his will." On hearing this, the moneylender suddenly felt what he was doing is wrong and cancelled the warrant and never again troubled the devotee. One gentleman from Haridwar used to come and sit near Baba every day. One day, he got delayed and a small girl took his place and sat near Baba. She didn't get up even after he came, so he asked her to get up and he sat near Sai. On seeing this, Baba asked him to get up and sit down along with everyone. He sat there, and after some time, he again came and sat in his place. Baba again asked him to go and sit down. He then understood that this was the punishment for his mistake of asking the girl to get up from the seat. There's another Leela which is mentioned here by Baba's one of the devotees. He says, "Once I went to Shiridi during Navratri and stayed there till Dashera. Devotees had got variety of fruits, but I didn't have anything. I felt I should have also got some fruit. After some time, Baba distributed grapes, and he gave me also some. He had distributed all the grapes, and he didn't have anything for himself. On seeing this, I gave some grapes from the ones Sai had given me. He took that and ate the grapes. So, the thought of not getting fruits for Baba got solved, and I was happy." The experiences of the Khat family. Sai, the savior of Ganesh Murti. In the Sandalwood Mandir, there is also one small Murti of Lord Ganesh. This is a unique Murti as the Lord's trunk is turned towards his right. The Murti is placed on a silver shrine, separately made for the same. The story of the Ganesh Murti is very interesting, and therefore I feel like stating the same for you all listeners. Of course, the existence of the Ganesh Murti is for such a long time. The credit goes to Shiridi Sai Baba, which I will now narrate to you all. Virendra Tarkhat says in his book, "My grandfather used to pay visit to an antique shop near Regal Theatre in Mumbai. On one such visit, while going around the shop, he heard an English gentleman bargaining with the shopkeeper. My grandfather was rather curious that an English gentleman was bargaining, so he took an active interest in the same. The bargain was for a beautiful marble murti of Lord Ganesh. It was 9 inches tall, sitting in a lotus flower and painted very appropriately in various colors. The shopkeeper was asking for ₹15 and was giving the justification that it is from Somnath temple and very antique, hence the price tags. The English gentleman had started the offer with ₹5 and then went on to ₹8. My grandfather now got attracted towards that tale. He inquired with the Englishman out of sheer curiosity as to what he intended to do with the murti. The Englishman replied that the beautiful marble stole he would use as a paperweight on his desk. On hearing that, my grandfather became very angry. He took out ₹100 note from his wallet and gave it to the shopkeeper. He told him to take ₹80, that is 10 times the offer of the Englishman, and pack the murti for him. He declared that he would not allow his god to be used as a paperweight to anyone. On further inquiry with the shopkeeper, he learned that the murti was from the main entrance gate of the Somnath temple and hence very antique. On reaching home, he declared that he would wish to place the murti in the Sandalwood Mandir so that along with Sai Puja, it will also get worshipped, which in any case is much better than being used as paperweight. The family members agreed with his suggestion. On opening the packing, my grandmother realized that the murti had a trunk on the right side, and this type of Lord Ganesh Siddhivinayak are generally not kept in the house for puja, as it calls for observance of very strict discipline in all household activities. They then consulted the priest, who advised that they can worship the murti on condition that every Ganesh Chaturthi day they will repaint the same and they cannot perform the immersion of the same. Tarkhads were happy for such solution, and on the following Ganesh Chaturthi day they bought a silver shrine for the murti and consecrated the same ceremoniously in the Sandalwood Mandir. From then onwards, on every Hartalika, on a day prior to Ganesh Chaturthi, Virendra Tarkad's father, Jodhindra Tarkad, would remove the old paint of the murti with turpentine, then give scent water bath to it. Each one of us would participate in it and then repaint the same. On Ganesh Chaturthi day, he would reconsecrate it back on his silver shrine and we all would perform the puja. I remember when I was young, my school friends used to ask me whether we get Ganpati in our house. I used to tell them that our Ganpati is permanent. They would not understand me then. So Tarkas were transformed from Prarthana Samajas to idol worshippers. The Ganesh Murti in our house was once put into an acid test by my grandmother. Virendra Tarkat says, my grandfather, who was well known in the textile industry, got an assignment from Maharaj of Baroda to set up a textile mill in his state. They therefore shifted to Baroda and were given accommodation in a bungalow on the bank of a river. In one rainy season, it rained heavily overnight, and by the time it was morning, their bungalow was underwater. This was a new experience for them. My grandmother was scared as the water level was rising hour after hour. The steps of the bungalow were submerged in the water except the last step. My grandmother then bought a flat copper vessel and placed it on the last step. Then she lifted the Vignaharta from the silver shrine and placed it in the copper vessel and declared that if this murti submerges in water, then she would proceed to perform the immersion ceremony of Lord Ganesh in the same water. Of course, her solemn intentions were that Lord should save them from that dangerous situation. I think only the staunch devotees can dare to venture into such daredevil acts, and possibly God likes them. The water level rose further and touched the copper vessel and stopped rising any further. After 3 to 4 hours later, the water level receded and they were all happy. The Vignaharta had come to their rescue as they desired. In that year, they performed the Ganesh Chaturthi celebration for 5 days instead of 1.5 days. Now, Virendra Tarkad proceeds further to narrate one more incident about this Ganesh Murti. This incident would throw some light on the title of this chapter. On one Hartalika day, incidentally, dear listeners, Virendra Tarkar's grandmother passed away on Hartalika Day. While removing the old paint, the part of the right hand of the Murti got dislocated from the elbow onwards. His father was very scared because, as per Hindu religion, one cannot worship a damaged Murti. However, by now it had become integral part of the family and they would be reluctant to part with it. They decided to go through the celebrations and then seek advice from Sai Baba. Thus, they proceeded to Shiridi. Dear listeners, is it not an unfair act on their part? They had never involved Baba so far in their business of Lord Ganesh, and now in times of distress they wanted his help. On that occasion when they were in Dwarka, Mai Baba was unusually silent with them. They had realized their mistake and were feeling guilty about not involving Baba from the beginning. They were internally seeking his pardon for it. They waited patiently. Then, as the crowd in the Dwarka Mai receded, Baba called them near. He addressed, "O mother, in the event our son undergoes a fractured hand, we do not throw him out of our house. On the contrary, we feed him and nourish him well so that he reaches the manhood." No sooner they heard this, they instantly fell at his feet and profusely thanked him. Dear readers, Virendra Tarkar says, I do not find suitable words to describe Baba's wisdom. He was really an Antardhyani in the true sense of the term, so that he could read what is going on in your mind. It would be appropriate to tell you the way in which my grandmother expired at the feet of Lord Ganesh. On Hartalika Day, after the Pratisthapana, it was a ritual for every member of the Tarkat family to prostrate and pay obeisance at the feet of Lord Ganesh. My grandmother, being the first lady of the family, always paid obeisance and prostrated first and start ritual, and then the other family members followed her. But on this particular Hartalika Day, when my grandmother prostrated to pay obeisance, she remained lying down in the same position as God chose that very moment to take her soul to his heavenly abode. Such human departures are very rare, and only a chosen few loved by God depart in this fashion. Great were those Baba's Leelas, and great were these mother and son. This is how Baba saved the Ganesh Murti, which continues to be with the Tarkat family for seeing their worship till date. Om Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha.